this video, we're gonna show you how we're building an off-grid DIY solar setup to keep this greenhouse warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Let's go. If you hear the beautiful sound of silence, then that is because we got rid of our guineas last night. Honestly, we still have the rooster. The biggest reason we got rid of the guineas is they come up onto our porch and they like to roost on our porch and they poop everywhere, and I just can't take it anymore because we walk out barefoot. That's where we store our wood when we're using our wood stove. So it was just really annoying.
All right, so we need to get power to the greenhouse, which we do not have currently. We got power to Meow-a-Lago, but our plan is to be able to run a heater in the greenhouse and lights in the winter, and then in the summer we want to be able to run a fan. So instead of trenching power from the shop all the way over to here, I think we're just going to do solar, which we kind of want to get into solar anyway, so it's kind of a two-birds situation. So the big question is, where are we going to put the panels? Our sun kind of starts over there and goes that direction to some degree, and then we've got a bunch of trees to worry about too. So originally we were thinking maybe put them on the roof, but then we're kind of locked in with them up there, and we to some degree we want these to be portable so we can use them for other things as well if we need to. So I think what we're going to do eventually, we're going to build a little firewood shed here, and I think we might eventually mount panels on top of that, but as you can tell we don't have that. So we're just going to do portable mounts for now and run them to the greenhouse so we can have a little bit of power in there. I think they'll probably end up living somewhere back there, I don't know, but we'll be able to move them, so if that doesn't work we can find a new spot. This will be garden, so we got to avoid the garden, and we'll go from there. So that's kind of the plan for today. We got to build some adjustable mounts, portable mounts, and then get everything wired up. The panels will feed one of the solar generators inside of the greenhouse, and then that will power our fan, lights, and heater. So that's kind of the rough outline of what we're doing.
I'm gonna talk about what kind of heater we're gonna use.
So I think we're gonna try just one of those oil-filled heaters. They're an area heater, and they just kind of heat the space instead of blowing hot air. We'll try that and see how that works. We just want to keep it above freezing, which shouldn't take a whole lot. The greenhouse it does pretty well. I mean, we've still got plants in there. It's end of November, and it hasn't frozen there yet, so we just got to worry mostly about the cold winter months that we assume are coming. We're not sure, but so we just got to be able to raise this probably a few degrees just to keep it above freezing.
So like Luke said, these are Renogy solar panels. They just came out with them. Their formal title is the Renogy Shadow Flux Anti-Shading N-Type Solar Panels. They come in 120 watts and 200 watts. These are the 200 watt models. So the Shadow Flux models are a newer type of solar panel from Renogy, and what makes these great is they can still charge even in less than ideal conditions. So this makes them a lot better than other panels that can drop to 0% output even with 22% shading. And so where we are, you've seen it in videos, we're pretty heavily wooded here, and especially in the winter, the sun just really, if the sun does decide to come out, it's usually either behind clouds or it's for a very short amount of time. So we need panels that can really get every last bit of sunlight and convert that to energy. They're also pretty weather resistant. They're rated at greater than IP67. And we've been getting a lot of rain this season, and eventually we will have snow, so these will be great to use. One other cool thing is all Renogy Shadow Flux panels come with a 5-year product warranty and a 25-year performance warranty guaranteeing at least an 80% output. So originally we were just gonna build wooden stands. Watched a lot of YouTube tutorials, even went to Home Depot, braved Home Depot on a Saturday, pick up all the supplies, and then
as I was cleaning out the shop space to make room for this project, what do I happen upon? Prefabricated solar panel stands. I don't know when or how or why. I just foreshadowed or had a premonition that we would be doing this someday, and I must have picked them up on a Black Friday. They're actually an American-based company.
Glice?
Yeah,
Oh.
they're made in USA. I'm glad we're not out here pounding nails and cutting 2x4s for something that, let's be honest, I suck at carpentry.
So while Luke is getting the frame built over there, I'm going to talk about the heat source that we're going to use, or we're going to try, in our greenhouse. And this is an oil-based heater. We actually use these kind of all over the farm. We use them in Meow-Lago, where our cats sleep and where we keep all our feed and horse tack. So an oil-based heater is a sealed portable electric heater that uses a permanent fill diathermic oil to provide long-lasting quiet heat. Basically, it just heats the oil up slowly, but then the oil stays warm, hot, and that's what heats the space. They're supposed to be lower energy and they're supposed to be a little bit safer. That's why we use them in our outbuildings. The biggest thing is we just don't want our heater to actually use a lot of power. And when I Googled like greenhouse heaters, I think they were all meant for like plug-in power. I couldn't find a model that would allow us to like see how much power it was using or like lower the power. So this is kind of our low-cost solution. And we'll see how it works. Now obviously there's no fan on here, so in the spring, summer, we'll have to come up with another system to install a fan, but we don't have to worry about that right now.
That was super easy. Quick and easy.
So we got one done. Luke said it was pretty easy. The nice thing about these is they're very, very light, like suspiciously light. We were a little nervous that they were going to be kind of flimsy, but I guess we'll find out. So our original plan was to build this out of 2x4s, and it would have been really heavy and hard to move.
We would have given up.
Probably would have given up. So the nice thing about these is we can kind of drag them around and then figure out where we want to keep them or move them if we need to move them with the sunlight.
Until we find a permanent location for them.
It'll probably just take us some time to figure out that permanent location since this is the first time we've ever done this. Envisioning like the cats sliding up and down this, and chickens. Like they're 100% gonna try to jump on the top.
Oh, the chickens will shit all over them.
Yeah.
I don't know how. It physically shouldn't be possible, but where there's a chicken, there's a way to shit on a thing.
Yeah. Well, while Luke is doing that, oops, I'm gonna go do some random chores. I think it's warmer out here than it is in the shop. It's freezing. We are less than 1 month away from regaining daylight. It is going to get dark here probably in about 2 hours. I don't think I'm ever gonna get over just being able to like turn on water and have it. It's just one of those like when you don't have something for so long, you know? Sister? Yeah. So I learned something kind of interesting this fall. Hi, dude. I've always had tall stock tanks for my horse's water just because it made sense. Get the biggest stock tank so you don't have to fill it up as much. But I've learned given the choice between a tall stock tank and a low one, like this one, my horses will pick the low one. My guess is it just feels more natural to them to put their head all the way down versus drink at like hip level. It's also nice for this little guy. It's easier for him to drink at the lower. I don't have any food for you. I'm sorry. Sorry, old man. So anyways, just kind of a fun fact for you. So this water tank was empty like probably a minute ago, 2 minutes ago, and it's about to be full. That is how fast the water pressure from that frost-free hydrant is.
Running these in parallel, so you just hook the positive and the positive together, the negative and the negative together, and that just kind of combines their wattage. So we're now, potentially sending 400 watts to our solar generator. We've got a 4-way adapter here, so we can actually run 2 more panels to these. I don't have a 2-way, otherwise I'd use that right now until we can get 2 more of these panels from Renogy. So this is turning our individual 200 watt panels into one 400 watt panel. So then we'll just run those into this basically extension cord, which will run into the greenhouse to the solar generator and charge it. Alright, so the sun, you can see,
oh yeah,
you can focus on that, kind of goes that direction.
Okay.
So I think the best spot is probably right in here somewhere. We just put them maybe here for now.
Okay.
We can drill in through there, just drill a hole through the side, run it in, just leave the little solar generator tucked in the corner, and
okay,
leave the heater just, I don't know, maybe just out
in the middle. Yeah, would be ideal.
Okay.
And safe because it's on the concrete.
Works.
And then my hope is heat rises, so everything up here will be nice and toasty. Those are my emotional support extra feed bags. What if we need them? Yay. So, if you watched our channel, you know that we have tested and reviewed and been sent a lot of solar power generator lithium ion type power stations for many years. Now for safety reasons, you really shouldn't keep them like in your house. There's so many stories on the internet of these batteries catching fire and burning everything down. In fact, it burned in Coeur d'Alene, it burned down a huge warehouse full of LEO equipment about 2 years ago. So we keep all of our power stations and solar power generators in our camper. We've made some videos about us traveling with this thing. So if it ever catches fire, I guess we just lose the camper. Oh, it's toasty in here. Or oops. Oopes. How long has this one been sitting? Do you think?
That's a year.
Yeah, versus the really nice one that bricked on us.
We should be, well, we would be generating power if there was any sun. Input watts.
0.
0. Oh, because this is already made. We will do a video. We are going to build our own solar generator for out here.
Which is what that is.
Basically what this is. We're just building it from scratch. So that's a future video. Anyways, that's that. We can get some actual wattages coming in tomorrow.
So obviously this is not going to be where they live forever, but for the purposes of just getting set up, making sure it even works, this is where they're going to live for now. Fortunately, I think we've kind of lost the daylight. Not that we had any to begin with. It's been cloudy and rainy all day. But the good news is tomorrow, it is supposed to be sunny.
It's all hooked up. It's producing energy, and we'll do a little test tomorrow when we have a little bit more sun.
I'm coming. So we got our first snow of the winter last night. It's probably all gonna be melted by tomorrow, honestly. I kept the chickens and the ducks inside. They're very unhappy about that, so I'm gonna let them out. All right, everybody, come on. Kitty. All right, go on, everyone. There's Jeffrey. What's wrong, kitty? So I'm gonna go brush the solar panels off. We just got these set up a few days ago, and then we've literally not had any sun really to test them, which is kind of a bummer. So one great thing about these Renogy solar panels is they are weatherproof. So I'm just clearing the snow off. Maybe we can get some power to them today if the clouds clear off a little bit. But we don't have to worry about these, you know, in weather, in like normal average North Idaho weather, which is really awesome. So the nice thing about these oil heaters is once they have an internal temperature, or they have an internal thermometer, we need to get one here in the greenhouse, but once that internal thermometer hits a certain temp, you know, based on this dial here, it shuts off. So, you know, right now we're back to the battery being good for 56 hours. We're only bringing in 10 watts. That's fine. So it's pretty low right now. So the thermometer in there says that it's whatever temperature, it's warm enough. It'll kick back on as soon as the temperature back here drops. So we've got the battery turned on, and as you can see, an oil heater does actually use a decent amount of power. 580 is what it is taking to turn this, heat this on very low. Right now we're pulling in about 11 watts. The fact that they're even pulling any electricity from this is impressive. Like, I don't know if the camera is doing a good job of showing how cloudy it is today. Like, it's kind of bright, but there is not any sun. Like, get a look at this. Yep, the camera is pretty accurately picking it up. There is nothing. There is no sunshine. It's probably gonna snow later tonight, honestly. We need to get a heater that takes in less watts. As it stands right now, if we were to keep running this, we'd kill the battery in about 2 hours. So it's an ongoing experiment, trying to figure out, like, you know, what heater can we use? It's not going to take the most power, and it's still going to kind of keep this place somewhat heated. Looks like we're not going to be able to show you like the full 400 watt power of these solar panels because Mother Nature has decided we're going to have clouds. But that's okay. That's just kind of how it goes sometimes. When we work with Mother Nature, we have to play by her rules. But I think you can see that these solar panels really are good quality, easy to use, they're light, and I'm excited to do a follow-up video with them. One when we find a better space heater that doesn't take up as much power, and once we have a great sunny day on the homestead and we can show you just how well these solar panels work. Like right now, it's pulling in about 16. I saw it to 20 a minute ago. And it's cloudy out. So the fact that they're able to pull in any power in this is impressive. So it's just going to be an ongoing kind of fun build to get this greenhouse to a point where we can heat it close to year round. Maybe not completely year round, but at least keep it like somewhat warm enough in here. We're new to, you know, solar use wiring, so if you have any suggestions, totally open to it. But if you have any questions, we'll try to answer them as best we can. Thank you to Renogy for sponsoring this video and, you know, having faith in us and helping us create our off-grid homestead here in North Idaho. They are having a Black Friday sale right now if you're interested, so up to 58% off site-wide and up to 26% off individual Shadowflex products.